So a classic Nick Fuentes and Ben Shapmei's feud, because Nick is anti-Israel, or is at least fair about what's happening. And then, of course, the Shapmeis, Ben Shapiro, he's, of course, insanely pro-Israel. So this is Nick Fuentes talking about it, and we'll see what happens. But they hate each other, so. Or at least Ben hates him.
Thing on the Daily Wire that's actually critical of Israel. And he quote tweets me. And at this time, I have 1,000 followers on Twitter. I don't know, I probably got 100 likes on this tweet. It wasn't a viral tweet. He quote tweets me and says, to accuse a Jew of dual loyalty is the surest sign of anti-Semitism. But the second you're like, well, actually, it's...
No, it's not. How is that anti-Semitic in any way? I hate when people say you're anti-Semitic because you're questioning Israel, or if you say anything, just like people say you're racist. If you say, look, there's a black guy over there, you're racist immediately. Like, how is that even racist? Like, you're just observing what's happening. Like, and I don't like it when it comes from the right, too, about Israel. It's annoying.
Jews. First of all, it's against my Christian faith. Like, I just don't believe that, and I never will, period. And second, then it becomes...
Like, if you see a big booty Latina vixen, and I say, that's a big booty Latina vixen with a juicy ass, that's not being racist. That's just seeing with your eyes something delightful. Like...
a way to discredit. That's when I was like, this guy's a Fed.
Well, as you just saw from that video, Tucker Carlson had a sit-down interview with Nick Fuentes, who's obviously a very controversial figure. And I was happy to see that they had a back and forth about their differences on how they discuss Israel and what's being carried out in Gaza. I am certainly more in agreement with Tucker Carlson. I do not blame the Jews, but I do blame a certain ideology and a certain government that has carried out the atrocities that we've seen in the Middle East, not just during this genocide in Gaza, but over the last several decades. That you have Nick Fuentes, and he thinks that there's an organized Jewry that is essentially leading to the situation that we're seeing right now on the ground in Gaza. Again, I agree more with Tucker Carlson. I'm just recounting that part of the discussion in case you missed our coverage of it, because we talked about that yesterday. But there were other parts of their conversation that I thought were worthy of delving into. I wanted to share with you, including this really interesting experience that Nick Fuentes allegedly had with the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro. So this is all taking place when Nick Fuentes is still in high school. He's like around 18 years old.
Legendary.
He's a curious person. He's a self-identified libertarian. He debates someone, and apparently that debate he performed really well in.
No, Nick is actually really smart. He can explain things really well. Everything comes out really smooth, and he doesn't even have to think about it. He's able to recant facts super easily, and he's able to debate really well.
And then he gets approached by someone who I'm actually familiar with. Her name is Cassie Dillon, who works over at the Daily Wire. She was impressed, and then there was like this effort to essentially recruit Nick Fuentes. Now,
so they were trying to recruit him to the Daily Wire,
and I want to let Fuentes set it up for you. So let's take a look.
Barack Obama in the lame duck period.
That's his entire period.
The Democrats lost the election. He's on his way out. There's a resolution of the Security Council condemning the settlements in the West Bank in Israel. And typically, the U.S. delegation will veto those resolutions condemning Israel. Well, Obama's on his way out. He's got nothing to lose. So the U.S. delegation abstains from the resolution, and it passes. And Fox News and all the pro-Israel conservatives are calling him an anti-Semite. They're saying he hates Jews. He's an anti-Semite. He hates Israel. I said, how is it anti-Semitic to just be consistent on our U.S. foreign policy? I tweeted about it. I tweeted to Ben Shapiro. I said, I've never seen anything on the Daily Wire that's actually critical of Israel.
Oh, that's true.
And he quote tweets me. And at this time, I have 1,000 followers on Twitter. I don't know, I probably got 100 likes on this tweet. It wasn't a viral tweet. He quote tweets me and says, to accuse a Jew of dual loyalty is the surest sign of anti-Semitism.
For us, every day is refreshing.
Didn't she show the same clip twice?
To a friendly customer or setting up.
How is that first of all, dual loyalty exists. I said...
The more that I read, the more that I dug into the subject, the more I found out there's a lot of these neocon Jewish types behind the Iraq War. There's the foreign aid complex, which is really unique. There's AIPAC, which is this intense foreign lobby where it's bipartisan. It seems to be the only thing that the parties can agree on. And so it just made me burn more with curiosity. So I just kept asking them. And eventually they said, you know what? We're not going to talk to you anymore.
Oh, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to ask those questions. Okay, this is a side note, and I know it's going to take away from the...
So basically the feud happened between them because Nick was asking questions about Israel, which is completely fine to do, but not for people who are so pro-Israel like Ben Shapiro, who basically accused Nick of being anti-Semitic if he says anything or even questions Israel. And basically, I'm not guessing that's where the feud started happening.
But whatever, I don't care what people
Yeah, we
think.
showed each other a badge as we know her.
No, but I thought you were a Fed because I was like, why not? It's not cucking to say you're not talking about all Jews when you oppose a foreign policy position. It's not. There's nothing liberal about that. It's just true. That's the Christian position, okay? And two, why are you attacking like the best people and not the worst people?
Well, yeah, I mean, again, he disavowed me for my views on Israel and said I talk too much about white people and Christianity. And to me,
Right.
that's like a sincere ideological
I
disagreement.
get it.
Okay, so the guy that they're talking about is Joe Kent. That's who they were feuding about. So he's a Republican who ran for the House in Washington. In Washington's 2022 and 2024 elections. He did lose both times, and according to Fuentes, many years ago, Fuentes privately gave Kent the support of both himself and his organization's political resources on the condition that Kent would never publicly disavow Fuentes, which I think is a ridiculous ask. You never know what the future holds. What if Fuentes does something terrible? I think Kent should be allowed to disavow him, right? But later, Kent did just that after Marjorie Greene attended Fuentes' conference.
There's so many sneaky people in politics, and I'm so sick of listening to this cackling wench too. Actually, in general in life, there's so many sneaky, evil people who will backstab you. I'm the most loyal person. I am the best friend you could ever have. I am the most loyal person ever. I would never backstab anyone if they're my friend. I would love to backstab people who I hate, though. But yeah, a lot of people will do that immediately. But the whole thing about why Ben Shapiro just hates Nick Fuentes is just because he says anything about Israel. And the thing is, they even fired Candace Owens because she was critical on Israel. And Ben Shapiro just hates anything you say about Israel. And it's completely unfair because a lot of things that they say are just true. Or at least they're debating them, seeing if they're true or not. So, yeah, that's the situation you own. But that's legendary. Nick Fuentes is picking up a lot of popularity. It's legendary because he's right about pretty much everything. And I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And the Maestro never gives up.